I saw a video of Kwam Alhaji Wasiu Ayinde when he said he is so angry at Alhaji Kollington for not gracing his late mother's burial ceremony. That the reason why he was so angry was that when Alhaji Kollington lost his own mother, that Kwam was there, you know, physically, he was there financially, he was there morally to support Kebin Kwara. That was the reason why he was so angry that he didn't come. Now, this video is going to be very long because to people like us, to someone like me, personally, Fuji music is very dear to our heart. We hold it, you know, very dearly to our heart because when we were growing up, it was this same Fuji music that our fathers, especially my own father, it was this same Fuji music that my father used to play for me. He was doing all of those things, so I will be used to our culture because Fuji music represents our culture. It represents, you know, it represents Yoruba people, yes, as a whole. Fuji music is our social cultural representation, so it is very big. Anytime Fuji music, that genre comes up, we are always very we're always very serious with it. So when this situation, you know, was, you know, popping up on the internet, I said, okay, I have to pay attention. Then Yoruba people don't joke with respect. You have to respect your elders. See, Alhaji Kollington is an elderly person. Kwam is an elderly person. Yoruba will say, "Won le buagba." Even my father, if you want to address my father, I'm just telling you how Yoruba people hold respect so dearly. See, if you want to address my father, may God rest his soul. If you want to address my father, you cannot stand up and be addressing my father now. You will kneel down when you want to tell him something. Respect goes that deep to Yoruba people. Because when you are standing up, when you stand up and you are addressing him, you say, Yoruba people are like that. We hold respect so dearly. That's why you will see that Yoruba people, when we want to greet our elderly people, we prostrate. It is not only our kings that we prostrate to greet. You prostrate when you want to greet an elderly person. So if you pay attention to how Kwam was venting his anger in that interview, he was actually treading carefully because he said Kollington is like his father. Just like when Barrister was alive. Yes, Barrister was like his father too. So when you say, Baba Mini, any Baba Miloje, it shows how respectful Yoruba people are. So even in that interview, he was venting his anger, but at the same time, he didn't want to cross that line. Do you get? Because Kwam not dagba. I want not to allow one more oríṣiríṣi tó ń kọ Fuji. Kò kí n ṣe àwọn ọmọ wọn biologically, but the likes of Pasoma, the likes of Oshupa, all these people, they are more like his sons. Do you get? That is how much Yoruba people hold respect so dearly. But that is not the bone of contention in this video. See, in this video, I want to talk about Fuji music as a genre. See, people like us, when we were growing up, it was this same Fuji music that our father used to play for us. It was a deliberate attempt to. Our father was not just playing those Fuji music for fun's sake. Like my own father, I think he was actually playing that Fuji music for my taking, for me to be aware of my cultural, you know, social representation. Because Fuji music is one of those genres that represents Yoruba as a people worldwide. Do you get? So that is why it is very, very pertinent. It is very, very crucial. It is very, very important. See, whatever that is happening between Kwam and Kebin Kwara, they will sort it out. Oro Omo ati Babani, they will sort it out. What I'm trying to say is, even when Kwam was venting his anger in that video, he didn't want to cross that line. He didn't want to disrespect Alhaji Kollington. So that is a lesson for all these young cats, that any small thing like this, even when an elderly person has wronged you, there are ways you go about it. You don't just go all out and start attacking and disrespecting an elderly person. That is one thing that is lacking in this generation. I just want to put that one out straight up. So we can be learning. We can be, when someone has done something worthy of emulation, we should be learning and be, learning and be emulating those, positive vibes. Now, moving on. See, Fuji music, we hold it dearly. We don't want Fuji music to go into extinction. We don't want Fuji music as a genre to go away. Now, I am using this medium to address the giants of Fuji music. I think I have done that in the past. Look at what Sikiru, Ayinde, Barrister, look at what Barrister has done with Fuji music. Barrister was the one that actually coined that genre of music that all these other people are now enjoying. I'm talking people like Kwam. I'm talking people even Kollington and Babankebenkwara. It was Barrister that actually, created that genre. Look at how successful. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Baba Barrister. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. Because that man, he was one of a kind. We will never see his kind again. Musically, morally, everything. We will never see his kind again. Let me quickly delve into, some facts about him. See, Barrister was a genius. Do you know that Barrister as a musician, during the time of the military era, when General Abacha was trying to, go from military to democracy, he wanted to actually, organize an election. So a lot of people during the campaign, a lot of dignitaries, a lot of musicians were invited. They were given a lot of money. A lot of I don't want to mention names now. A lot of our notable musicians actually went there to campaign for a military dictator that wanted to succeed himself as a democratic president. A lot of our musicians, our popular musicians today, they went there. They collected money. That money was more like a bribe, because they will tell us, Barrister was offered that same money. He did not take it. He did not go there. So when everything happened, Abacha, Kwam, and that ushered in a democratic era. That was when they actually they gave Barrister a national honorary award. Barrister created Fuji music. Look at how successful Fuji music is right now, worldwide. It left a legacy that will never be forgotten. Though people like Kwam, they have taken the Fuji music to another level. Kwam actually, added a lot of flavors, a lot of, modern era vibes to Fuji music. Now, let me delve back a little bit into Barrister as a person, as a musician. Barrister was an activist. So when late General Abacha was, doing his campaign, when he was running that campaign, when he wanted to migrate from being a military, dictator to a democratic leader, he was actually running a very huge campaign. The government was giving all the big musicians at that time a lot of money, big money. Barrister was the only person that did not collect money from the government. That was why when the democratic dispensation eventually came, on merit, they gave Barrister, Sikiru Ayinde Barrister, they gave him a national award, MFR. That MFR was not lobbied. Nobody lobbied for Barrister before he got that MFR. It was basically on merit, because he did not for no reason at any point in time support the government. He was always on the side of the people. He did not collect money from Abacha. He did not collect money from the government. He was always an activist representing the interest of the people through his music. Look at what is happening today. All our musicians, poof, they are always on the other side. I won't mention names now. They are always on the other side against the people. They are always on the other side against because of what they are getting. Barrister created that Fuji music genre. He sacrificed everything for that genre to survive. He has done so much. See, the legacy he left behind is what we see with Kwam, is what we see with Kwara, Alhaji Kollington. The legacy is what we see with Oshupa. The legacy is what we see with Pasuma. The same legacy of Fuji music is what we see with Malaika, with all of them. Look at how great they are doing. That is someone, that is an icon. Barrister was a Fuji icon, a legend that will never ever be forgotten as long as we listen to Fuji music. Barrister was not the kind of musician that they will now sit him down, they will now start teaching him one surah in the Quran before he could go into the studio. No. Barrister was so knowledgeable Arabically. He could spring up with any surah in the Holy Quran. I'm telling you. And that is one of the criteria, one of the major criteria if you actually want to become a great Fuji musician. You have to be knowledgeable, because Fuji music is actually about impacting knowledge. It's not just Takasufe jumping up and down. It is, Fuji music is an intellectually inclined genre in music. Get that one straight. So Barrister was everything. He was so knowledgeable in Quran. He was so knowledgeable in the Yoruba tradition, in the core deep Yoruba tradition. And academically, Barrister was so sound. Like, if Barrister was speaking English, you could actually take a bowl of eba and be eating it with that spoken English, because so sweet. Barrister was an embodiment. And when it comes to music, is musical composition prowess. You can't come close now. Nobody comes close. Nobody. I'm saying it on record. Nobody comes close. See, vibration. We need to start doing vibration every year. I have said it in one of my videos. We need to start celebrating Barrister, his legacy, so that Fuji music will not go into extinction. Look at what the video has done with Afrobeat. Look at how many people the video has been able to help. He has taken them from 0.0 to the next level. We're talking about the likes of Peruzzi, Mayokun, and a lot of other people that the video have helped. Look at what Olamide has done with Ashake. Look at what Olamide has done with Fireboy, Lighter, Fields, a lot of them. That is what they call legacy. But if you are big, you are established, and you are not helping the upcoming ones, you are not ready to pass over that legacy to the next generation. That is exactly what is missing. See, it's not all about helping the ones that are already established, though. It's not all about helping the ones that are already popular. Help the ones that nobody knows. Help the upcoming ones. That is what legacy is all about. So we can pass that baton over to the next generation. That way, the Fuji legacy that Dr. Alhaji Sikiru Ayinde Barrister has left behind, that legacy will not go into extinction. This point, I want to drive it home. I want it to sink in. Do you get? Before I move on to the other point, because it is very, very paramount to people like us. It is very dear to our hearts. Fuji music, we love it. Because Fuji music is a culturally inclined, genre of music. It represents us as a Yoruba people, as Nigerians, as African people. So it is very, very pertinent. It is very important. We say it on record. Please, all our Fuji giants, we are appealing to you. I'm using this platform. I'm using my voice, my platform, to beg all our Fuji giants. You guys have to come together. You guys, and I'm a Yoruba man. I value respect. So I am just, this is English for broader communication. I'm begging you. Let us start celebrating Barrister every year. Let's have a date. Let's choose a date. You guys have the resources now. Financially, physically, Morally, you guys have all the resources in the world. Look at what Banky W has done with Wizkid. Look at what Wizkid has done too with his influence on Afrobeat worldwide. That way, Afrobeat is already on a global stage that is, see, even dancehall in Jamaica is competing vigorously with Afrobeat as a genre. Now, Afrobeat has become a topic that people are discussing worldwide. Fuji music has been there before this Afrobeat genre, the one we listen to now. But you cannot deny the fact that the legacy Fela Anikulapo Kuti, may his soul continue to rest in peace, the legacy he left behind. Look at it. Look at what Chinwe Anikulapo Kuti is doing. Look at what Femi Kuti is doing. That's legacy. What are we doing? Do you get? How many upcoming Fuji musicians are you guys helping? Like really helping, like really giving that platform to really excel, not just freestyling with. How many Fuji musicians have you guys really helped? That is the legacy we are talking about. People like us, we don't want Fuji music as a genre to go into extinction. That is why we are using. That is why me personally, I am using this medium to beg you. Ẹ̀yin bàbá wa nínú Fuji, King Alhaji King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, King of Music Dr. Saheed Osupa, Alhaji Wasiu Alabi, Malaika, Sule Alao Malaika, Alhaji Sule Alao Malaika, and you know, all our great Fuji musicians. What are you doing to make sure that Fuji music does not go into extinction? Me particularly, I am so particular, I am so interested, because it was Fuji music that we grew up listening to, the likes of, you know, all those Fuji garbage, series 1, series 2, all those music, we grew up listening to those music. Those music shaped, you know, our thinking traditionally. It gave us the kind of awareness that we needed to have as at that point when we were growing up. Jeff Owolewa is my name. I'll see you on the other side. Holla.